But yeah, man, we getting it in today, man. I'm gonna jump over here to this story today. Now, there was a panel discussion going on today with some notable people: Shaq, Kenny Smith, and Charles Barkley, and a couple of other gentlemen there today. Ernie Johnson. Okay, yeah. Dope. And the conversation of Kobe Bryant came up. Now, Charles Barkley said some real disparaging things, saying, "Man, I'm gonna play the clip, and then I get your opinion on what he said about Kobe Bryant."
But I think what he has done and challenged the world to be, we all saw. Kobe Bryant is one of the greatest basketball players ever, and he had a flaw that we all know about. You have to tell the picture in totality. We're not trying to make Kobe out to be no hero. We're celebrating his basketball excellence. We understand what happened in Colorado. That's fair. But two things can be true.
Another great Laker wrote something this morning, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He wrote, in part, that, quote, Kobe was even more exceptional because he learned from his mistakes and devoted himself to being a better person. Was that your experience knowing him from, a teenage phenom to a doting father of four?
The only experience that made sense to me is that we challenged each other to make history. A lot of people thought we had problems. It wasn't real life problems. It's just, same problem me and Charles have, and same problem me and Kenny have when we're at work. But the key thing that we always have for each other was respect. Because I always tell people, after we won my first championship, who's the little guy that jumped in my arms?
All right, so that's a clip there. Obviously, this clip is altered. It seems like it's a lot more to the situation. I think we both conceded to that, SamAnt. Now, a little bit that you heard in the articles that came out, he said something. He said he wasn't a hero, pretty much. You know what I mean? In those words.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Do you think this was chopped up, this audio here?
I want to hear the rest. It was definitely chopped up. We looked numerous places. I played the audio and I was like, yo, this came from this source. They don't usually do stuff like this. This shit's chopped up. You looked and you confirmed it too. So something funny to that situation. I don't like it. But if the context is what it is, and we can read between the lines and hear what it is, I've met Charles Barkley a few times. I had some great conversations with that brother. He's full of shit right here. This is crazy. We're not making Kobe Bryant out to be a hero because of an allegation that he was never found guilty for, happened to go on in his life. It happens. It happens to a lot of black athletes, happens to a lot of black all-stars, actors,
Absolutely.
People in power. This kind of stuff happens. I'm not saying that he was a target, but I'm saying that he wasn't convicted. There was a lot of evidence pointing to some other things going on. Therefore, he got to move on. I challenge you questioning him being a hero. How isn't he a hero? I'm about to read a couple of things. Okay, I'm not trying to be long-winded, but Kobe Bryant's done a lot outside of basketball that isn't highlighted. He was the official ambassador of After School All-Stars, an American nonprofit organization that provides comprehensive after-school programs to children in 13 U.S. cities. He also started the Kobe Bryant China Fund, which partnered the Suyong Chi Foundation, a charity backed by Chinese government. The Kobe Bryant China Fund raises money within China and embarked for education and health programs. On November 4, 2010, Bryant appeared along Zach Braff at the Call of Duty Black Ops launch in Santa Monica, where he presented $1 million check to the Call of Duty Endowment. Activision founded nonprofit organization that helps veterans transition to civilian careers after military service is done. Together with his wife, they founded the Kobe and Vanessa Bryant Family Foundation that goes in helping young people in need, encouraging the development of physical and social skills throughout sports, and assisting the homeless. Bryant spoke on the injustice aimed at homeless people who are blamed for their situation, saying that homelessness should not be ignored or made a low priority. Bryant wanted more out of life just to be a successful basketball player. He was branded in multiple sports industries, had an initial investment, was a 10% stake in the Bodmer Super Drink Company for $6 million in 2014. The headquarters are in Newport Beach, California, with a Coca-Cola company purchasing a minority stake in the company in August 2018. The valuation of Bryant's stake rose approximately over $200 million. In August 2016, Bryant and his business partner launched Bryant Stuyvesant, a venture capital firm focused on different businesses, including media, data, gaming, technology, worth $100 million in funding. In 2018, Bryant became the first African-American to win the Academy Award for Best Animated Short and the first former professional basketball athlete to be nominated and win an Academy Award in that category film. Dear Basketball. In 2018, he also had a book called Mamba Mentality, How I Play, with photographs with Phil Jackson. The list goes on and on.
Yes, sir.
How the fuck is he a hero?
Yeah, yeah. And I was saying, you know, I want to go back to, you know, when you're being accused of something, you have the right to look at the character of that person. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's accusing this person. And when you go back, a lot of people forget about a lot of the facts. I'm not going to go deep into the facts, but the accuser, the one that was accusing Kobe Bryant of all these things, you know, she was, you know, soiled with a lot of different men's juices. I'll put it like that, for lack of a better, you know, and it was a lot of, you know, she was very promiscuous, I have to say, in that situation. And it was other things too I won't get into that was found with that situation. Ultimately, the case was dismissed. So for somebody, for anybody, especially a Charles Barkley, who's notorious for kind of always saying something that's just totally ignorant, and almost like he does it as a way to kind of keep himself, not to say he's not relevant or anything, but to keep himself buzzing.
Because he's smart, he ain't stupid.
Exactly. And it's like, to use the words that he used them, you know, like you said, this man has done so much. And that one little thing that y'all tried to get him on got dismissed. And we found out that the lady was not credible at all. And he paid his debt to society, you know, so-called and whatnot. And he won. So he's a fucking hero. Period.
This is Gayle King 2.0, in my opinion. This is another way to manipulate through mass media.
Absolutely.
And tear this brother's name up. I don't see how it's not. The audio was cut. We don't know what was said after. So in all fairness to Charles Barkley, he does have room to kind of redeem himself if in fact things are kind of stared. But to say that we're not trying to make him out to be a hero, who isn't? Why isn't he? He impacted people all around the world. Right. He invested his money into people who he didn't have to invest it in. He did things way outside of what I just read. And he was an incredible businessman. So yeah. How isn't he an inspiration? How isn't he made an impact? How is he not? How are you going to sit back and look at a kid who's inspired by Kobe and tell him he's not his hero?
Right.
But you put that message over in mass media and want that image to stick.
It's the same thing. Why? It's the same play over on, like you got like even the Gayle King, you know, situation. You had all these people come out and say all this, and then all of a sudden Snoop comes out. He was the ringleader. Then a couple of days later, he apologizes.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, we would definitely get into that. You know what I'm saying? I think that when Snoop apologized, I think that what really happened is somebody got in his ear. I ain't talking about his mom. Somebody in a high position got in him and said, "Yo, you better apologize, or this could happen to you." I think it's really that real. You know what I mean? Not saying that he could be injured or anything, but who knows? This may come out about he did this and that and this, and 30 women may come out. This stuff is completely real. We talked, you know, Taj Jackson, you know, the other day. So it's just like, I believe 100% that it was that. Because we heard that first thing when Snoop came out and said, we all heard it. I'm not going to repeat it. He meant what he said. But all of a sudden, you know, you a couple of days later, now you apologize and she ain't apologized. That's crazy.
What did I say? As soon as we heard it, I said, I loved everything but that, because it's going to take away from his original message. Even if he was keeping it 100, he thought it was right. It ain't going to be, that wasn't going to go over well.
Right.
I said his wife's going to holler at him, people are going to holler at him, but I'm more along the line of your premise, even though I do believe his mom said something and his wife probably said something, people were in his ear.
Yeah.
You look at Snoop and what he's doing out here. That brother is, I almost walks around with impunity. You understand? He gets to walk around pretty much to do what he wants, smoke where he wants, chill what he wants. He on here with Martha Stewart. He's on a Super Bowl commercial. He's on QVC. He's this. He's that. What other rapper you know moving like Snoop? You don't want to lose that. And like you said, it could get even deeper. We're going to take from your pockets, and then we can also throw out some other things. We talked about a situation prior to this that the podcast people will probably just listen to. We don't know where that came from. Maybe that was like a jab. Like, look, don't play.
Yeah.
You know, don't play. Stuff will start dropping. And
they tightened it up on him. They tightened that thing right up on that boy's neck.
I don't blame him for apologizing.
Whoa.
I don't know. No. I'm not saying I justify it.
Okay.
I'm not saying that he was. I never believed he should have said what he said. He shouldn't have said that. He shouldn't have called her what he called her. He shouldn't have said
Yeah. I agree.
He shouldn't have fucking said.
I agree.
So that woman deserved an apology, but for you to make a formal apology on everything that you said, I think that somebody came down on you, and I don't blame him because he's getting bags. and you don't want to lose the bag, so you better apologize.
So my thing is don't say nothing at all
Mhm.
in the beginning.
Exactly.
Don't come out, on this high horse acting like you this person when you ain't really built that way.
The curse of social media.
Right, because most guys, you say it and you don't retract. It is what it is. Fuck it. Bring the backlash. I meant it. I said it.
Most guys ain't got what Snoop got to lose. Most guys ain't on with Martha
Don't
Stewart
say it then.
on Super Bowl. I agree with you.
Yeah.
He should have knew who he was and where he was at the time. And if he want to F up his bag, you keep